Driving Miss Daisy. Anybody else? You're not a lady. Yes, ma'am. Gone with the Wind. Yes.
Little House on the Prairie.
Little House on the Prairie.
The Ten Commandments.
Ten Commandments. Yeah.
The King and I.
The King and I.
Fireproof.
Fireproof. Okay, yes.
The Titanic.
Titanic. All right, now, we need the men. If you were to pick one of your favorite movies of all time, what would it be? Sound of Music, okay?
The One.
The One.
What is that?
Jet Li, The One. Yeah. Yes?
Where the Heart Is?
Okay, another one. Yeah?
Ten Commandments.
Ten Commandments? Yes.
The Magnificent Seven.
Magnificent Seven. Okay, what else?
New one, John Wayne.
John Wayne.
Don't know which one.
Don't know which one. Okay?
Quiet Man.
The Quiet Man.
You get it both.
You can have two. Lonesome Dove, okay? What else? Anyone else? Huh?
Fast Five.
Okay.
David says the Blood of Heroes.
Blood of Heroes.
Potato Face.
Star Wars.
Star Wars Trilogy. I want to read to you Courageous. That's what we're seeing tonight. I want to read to you a passage from 1 Chronicles. 1 Chronicles, the 11th chapter. And we are actually going to start in verse 20 and then jump back to verse 10 earlier after we get done with this. Starting with verse 20. As for Abishai, the brother of Joab, he was the chief of the 30, and he swung his spear against 300 and killed them. And he had a name as well as the 30. Of the 3 in the second rank, he was the most honored and became their commander. However, he did not attain to the first 3, and the first 3 we're talking about is David's mighty men of valor. So this guy stood there, and he killed 300 with a spear, but he wasn't as good as the 3. Yeah. As a man, I can say, yeah, that's awesome. Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, the son of a valiant man of Kabzeel, mighty in deeds, struck down the 2 sons of Ariel at Moab. He also went down and killed a lion inside a pit on a snowy day. For some reason, a snowy day, I just made it harder. He killed a lion in a pit on a snowy day. And he killed an Egyptian, a man of great stature, 5 cubits tall. Now in the Egyptian's hand was a spear like a weaver's beam. But he went down to him with a club, and he snatched the spear from the Egyptian's hand, and he killed him with his own spear. Ooh, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger stuff. Oh yeah. And we say, oh, we can't talk about that in church. That's violent. No, it's manly. Amen? These are David's mighty men of valor. This is in the Bible. Can't we talk about the Bible in church? Amen, brothers? Amen, brothers?
Amen.
Come on, brothers, amen?
Amen.
Amen. We can talk about manly things in church. It's okay. Then it goes on. These things Benaiah the son of Jehoiada did, and a name as well as the 3 mighty men. Behold, he was honored among the 30, but he did not attain to the 3. And David appointed him over his guard. Now when you go back to the beginning, to verse 10 of this chapter, it says, these the heads of the mighty men whom David had, who gave him strong support in his kingdom together with all Israel to make him king, according to the word of the Lord concerning Israel. And these constitute the list of the mighty men whom David had. Jehoshabeam, the son of the Hakmonites, the chief of the 30, he lifted up his spear against 300, whom he killed at one time. And after him was Eleazar, the son of Dodo, the Ahohite, who was one of the 3 mighty men. He was with David at Pas-Damim, when the Philistines were gathered together there to battle. There was a plot of ground full of barley, and the people fled before the Philistines. And they took their stand in the midst of the plot and defended it and struck down the Philistines. And the Lord saved them by a great victory. Now 30 of the 30 chief men went down the rock to David into the cave of Adullam, where the army of the Philistines was camping in the valley of Rephaim. And David was then in the stronghold, while the garrison of the Philistines was then in Bethlehem. And David had a craving, and said, "Oh, that someone would give me water to drink from the well of Bethlehem that is by the gate." So the three broke through the camp of the Philistines. And they drew water from the well of Bethlehem, which was by the gate, and took it and brought it to David. Nevertheless, David would not drink it and poured it out to the Lord. And he said, "Be it far from me before my God that I should do this. Shall I drink the blood of these men who went at risk of their lives? For at the risk of their lives they brought it. Therefore he would not drink it." These things the three mighty men did. But then we read a sad part of history. And that's in the book of 2 Kings. 2 Kings, the 24th chapter, again starting in verse 10. At that time the servants of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, went up to Jerusalem, and the city came under siege. And Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, came to the city, while his servants were besieging it. And Jehoiachin, the king of Judah, went out to the king of Babylon, and he and his mother and his servants and his captains and his officials. So the king of Babylon took him captive in the 8th year of his reign, and carried out from there all the treasures of the house of the Lord, and the treasures of the king's house, and cut in pieces all the vessels of gold which Solomon, king of Israel, had made in the temple of the Lord, just as the Lord had said. Then he led away into exile all Jerusalem, and all the captains, and all the mighty men of valor. So the question I have for you today is, where are the mighty men? Where are the mighty men of valor today? Spiritually speaking, we are in a spiritual battle in this world, amen? The Apostle Paul in the book of Ephesians talks about putting on the whole armor of God. He says we are in a spiritual battle. So my call today is, where are the men of valor? Where are the mighty men today who will break through the enemy's ranks just to bring the king, that's Jesus, a drink of water? Where are those who will go a great, great personal risk to do something great for God? And that great risk may just be laying down your life for your own family. I want to read to you a few facts. Now, I've mentioned this before for some of you. This actually is from the Baptist Press. If the mother in a family is the first to become a Christian in the household, there is a 17% probability that everyone in the household will follow. If the father is the first to become a Christian in the household, there is a 93% probability that everyone in the house will follow. Other statistics say that if the wife is the spiritual head of the home, the likelihood that young people will stay in church their whole life is less than 10%. If the father becomes a mighty man of valor spiritually in his home, there's an over 95% chance his children will stay true to God their whole life. So the question today is, where are the mighty men of valor? Where are the men of the church who will stand up and say, I am taking my God-given role as a warrior in the spiritual battle that rages around me? Who say, I will get on my knees every single day and plead to the Father for my children, for my wife, for my church, for my friends. Let me share with you some other statistics. The average weekend, this is church on an average weekend. In the United States, on average, in church, there'll be 61% of the attendees at church that are female and 39% male. On any given weekend, there are 13 million more adult women than adult men in churches. And there are 25% married church-going women all worship without their husbands.